Hi friends, welcome back to the Goose Ghost Knitting Podcast. My name is Ashley and I am the maker and designer behind Goose Ghost Knits. You can find me on Instagram as Goose Ghost Knits and on Ravelry as Goose Ghost. And I'm coming to you today from Cle Elum, Washington, in the middle of the beautiful Cascade Mountains, like I am almost every other week. And look, I know, I try to do every other week for my podcasts. It's a good schedule. Most of the time. It didn't quite work out this time. I had to do 3 weeks in between this episode and my last one, simply because I've been having some health issues, and because of that, I haven't knit a lot, or sewn, or done much of anything. I've stared at the ceiling a lot. I've read a lot though, so we'll talk about some things that I've read lately. So I had to take an extra week because if I had done the podcast last week, which I could have, I just would have only had 2 things to show you, and now I actually have a decent amount of things to show you. So we'll see. And then I'll talk more about my health issues in the life section at the end of the episode. So things are looking better. We'll see. Fingers crossed. But we've got a lot to talk about today now, because I waited an extra week, and I figured it's better to have waited that extra week and have a bunch of things to share than to do a 10-minute episode. I would prefer a longer episode. I don't know about you guys. Do you guys like the half an hour short podcast episodes, or are you like me and you love a long podcast episode? Like, if I see an episode that's like an hour and a half long, I get excited. Like, that's my jam, is an hour and a half long podcast episode. Generally, mine are about 45 minutes to an hour though, so we're not quite there, but whatever. But let's get into it. I'm not wearing any knits today, but I am wearing my Flock Fiber Fest t-shirt. I didn't get this at Flock. I actually had to order it off of the website when they did pre-orders, because by the time that I made it to the Flock merch booth, they'd sold out of this color. And I'm trying to wear less black, more brown, and the pale, natural color. I don't think it's that kind of color I don't think it suits my skin tone, so I wanted the green. Green is my favorite color. So I did the pre-order for it, and it got here this last week. So got my Flock Fiber Fest shirt. Very excited for it. It's a day. So we're gonna start out of order today. We're gonna start with shop updates before I get into the projects. So if you don't know, hi, I make project bags. So I've got a shop update tonight. If you're watching this today, as I'm recording it, as I'm uploading it today, I have an update coming tonight on Saturday, September 16th at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. I've got 2 new patterns coming up. So the first one is my Halloween design. This is my ghosties. And this is my bag. It's got a project in it, which I will show you later. And I have changed my drawstring. And I'm actually very excited about this. Other people may be like, whatever. Before I was using ribbon, and I've just upgraded. It just arrived this morning to a nice cotton cording. And it's black, so of course it's not going to show up very well if I do it on the side that the sunlight's coming through. But it's like a nice round cotton cording. I'm very excited for it. So I've got small in the ghosties. I've got medium in the ghosties. Look at that, look at that. Here's the size comparison to the small. And for the first time in knitting bags, I have got tote bags. So tote bags are, I believe, comparable to a medium project bag, and they are going to be a lot more cost affordable then a medium project bag, because this takes way less effort than this to make. So these are a good cost-friendly option for a nice medium project bag. And in addition to the ghosties, the galaxies will be coming up as well. And I just have the fabric to show you because all I've done so far is cut the bags. I have a lot of work to do today. So here's the fabric. This is what it looks like. I designed this. Oh, and here's the other fun thing. You won't find these fabrics anywhere else. These are, all of the fabrics that I create are hand-drawn and designed by me. So here is my Galaxies fabric. It actually has a bunch of different galaxies and nebulas and moons and planets on here that I took reference images directly from the NASA website. They have all of their images that are on the NASA website are for free use. They're for public use because they are government funded. Everything that they create is, or not create, but everything that they, all the images that they put out from all of their telescopes and rovers and everything are for public use. So I use all of the reference images directly from the NASA website. And let's see if I can remember what these galaxies and nebulas are called. I think this one, this blue and red one, is called the God's Eye Nebula. This is Jupiter. No, this is Jupiter. This is Saturn. And Pluto's on here. This is Pluto. And I also have, I can't remember the names of any of the other galaxies and nebulas. I'm particularly fond of this one. Actually, I think this one might be the God's Eye Nebula. I don't remember any of the other names, but I've got a couple different constellations on here as well. I didn't put the lines between the constellations, so if you can guess what they are based off of like your knowledge, shout out to you. I can only remember 4 of the ones that I put on there off the top of my head, but I put Aries, which is my star sign, and Scorpio, which is my fiance's star sign, and Cassiopeia, which is my favorite constellation. It's one of the only ones that I'm able to like look up in the sky and immediately spot. And the Big Dipper, and I think I also put Gemini, Libra, Sagittarius. Not for any reason. Well, my sister's Sagittarius. My mom and my brother are Geminis. But, yeah. So I have just cut the fabric out. I have a lot of work to do today because I have to make all of the bags for launch, which normally I would not do that to myself. I had actually planned intelligently for this launch. I had planned for it to be on Monday. And then Etsy came out with this really cool thing that they're doing this weekend where if you spend more than $25, you get $5 off. But normally sales come out of the maker's wallet, like out of their cut. But Etsy is covering all of those costs. So the maker still gets that full amount and you get, the buyer gets a discount. So I really wanted to get these out while everybody could benefit from that sale. So I'm pushing myself really hard to make everything today and tomorrow and get everything out as quickly as I can. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. It'll be fine. But the reason that I made this, in addition to just wanting to draw galaxies, is Stephen West's MCAL this year is called Geo Gradient, and it's all inspired, like all of the imagery and everything is inspired by space. And I'm not going to do the MCAL this year. I'm going to focus on the projects I want to work on right now. But I thought it'd be such a fun idea to have a matching project bag for your Geo Gradient MCAL project. So if you are looking for a project bag to put your MCAL project in, there's an update tonight at 5:30 Pacific that'll have these bags in it. So I really hope that you will check it out, and I'm a big fan of it. I think it's super fun. Like, who doesn't like space things? Like, the space things are really fun. And, okay, so one more thing that I have tonight in the shop update that I've never had before, I'm putting up bookmarkers. And these look like a weird little bookmarker, right? Do I have a book? I have my notes. There's Fourth Wing by Rebecca Yarros somewhere in this room, and I can't find it, and I'm really stressed out because, like, I want to read it right now. Okay, so, but this is, right, okay, and then it goes like this, right over your corner, and then it's got, just like that. So, bookmarks, project bags with ghosties and galaxies, all ready tonight at 5:30 p.m. Pacific time. And use that code GET5 from Etsy to get $5 off. Get yourself something fun and support small businesses at the same time. And like, go check out Etsy right now. Like, there's so many things on there right now. It's so exciting. So if you're watching this on Saturday the 16th or Sunday the 17th, go to Etsy if you need to get something for yourself. Go, 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 go. It's a great time. I'm very excited about this, but okay. Let's now that I've rambled on for 12 minutes, move on to the knitting and some sewing. I've got 2 FOs, but I've only got one to show you today. I did finish my shark bite socks. My mom stole them as soon as I was done with them, so I don't have them to show you. So I was knitting these shark bite socks. I'll put up a picture right here. I was knitting the shark bite socks by Crochet Creations for my mom as a gift. She was very excited for them. She really wanted them. So I started them. Thought I might have the yarn here, but it doesn't look like I do. I started them during Knitty Natty's sock week, and I finished them right before summer sock camp ended, so right before the end of August. I want to say like on the 30th. So it's been a couple weeks since I finished them. But they're great. She likes them a lot. They're fine. All of my previous statements about them remain the same. They were my first pair of toe-up socks. I've discovered I don't like working up toe-up socks, which is fine. Maybe, like, I'm going to try toe-up socks again in the future, but I'm going to try them just vanilla and making them for myself instead of somebody else so that I can actually properly measure them on myself. But I don't know, toe-up socks aren't my jam, but I liked the pattern. Emily did a fantastic job writing it. It was very thorough, very concise. Lots and lots of information in there. And yeah, I don't really have anything much to say about them other than I'm glad they're done and my mom is glad they're done. And yeah, that's all I got. So the second FO that I have today is a sewing project, and I'm really excited about this one. So Halloween is my favorite holiday. I love Halloween. I love it so much. I love like spooky things. Ghost stories are my favorite thing ever. Like, I am an avid Ghost Adventures watcher, even if it's not like, we all know that it's ridiculous, but I love hearing about haunted things. I love listening to mythology, and I'm a fantasy girly, so I love Halloween. Okay, all of the spooky things, all of like the costumes, the candy, the treats, my jam. So I wanted a bag for Halloween, and Blackbird Fabrics recently launched their bestie bag. So this is my bestie bag, and it's all Halloween. Let's see, we'll zoom in close here so you can see my fabric choices. I've got candy corn. I am a candy corn supporter. Are you? Tell me. It's a hot take, I know, but I am a candy corn supporter in moderation. I've got pumpkins and cats and pumpkins and hats and witches and you can't see it on that side, but I've got where are the skeletons? Here's a skeleton up here. And so, and on the inside, I've got just this really cute autumnal fabric. I don't know why this always happens, but like every time I film a podcast, somebody always calls me. I don't get a lot of calls, but it's always while I'm filming a podcast. So, that was my fiance. He wanted to know why traffic on the freeway was completely stopped, so I had to go look on Twitter and see what was going on. Anyways, bestie bag. So, I went a little unorthodox with this for the material. The pattern recommends a stiffer material. I think they recommend canvas or corduroy or something of that sort. I went with quilting cotton, and I went with quilting cotton fat quarters. I got this fat quarter bundle at Joann, and I was like, I love this so much. It is so cute. So I cut it up into squares, made like a quilt top, I guess, with just all the squares in like stripes, I guess. I didn't feel like trying to randomize it, especially since there was two black ones. I didn't want to try and have to okay, I don't want the blacks together, but everything needs to be random, so I just went with like diagonal stripes, and it's fine. It worked out really well. And then I quilted them all together. I didn't actually quilt the top of it, but I think it's so cute, and it's got, I went for the webbing strap, and I got my webbing and my hardware from Wawak, and the zipper from Wawak too. I get most of my hardware supplies from Wawak, almost, I think actually all of them that I put on my bags and everything's from Wawak. The prices are amazing, the customer service is amazing. They're incredible. And then to make up for the fact that, I use quilting cotton and it's really lightweight, I put fusible interfacing, fusible fleece on the insides to stiffen it up. And I do that on all of my bags. All of the ones that are in my shop are all with feltable fleece or fusible fleece as well. So there's lots of room in here. It's super cute. I made view B, so it's got it's the small, ooh, there's a fly in my room. It's the smaller option, but there's still plenty of room in here for everything that I carry. So I've got, my wallet, lip gloss, tampon, sunscreen, gum, Taco Bell hot sauce. That's a normal thing to keep in your purse, right? So this is my purse for the foreseeable future. I will absolutely 100% be making another one of these, something more seasonally neutral. Like I won't be wearing Halloween year round. I absolutely will be rocking this for a long time. But this is fantastic. I really liked this pattern. Very easy, very straightforward. And it was great. And I'm very happy to have it. and I'll be wearing it a lot. So, but that's all I have for works in progress, or for FOs. I only have those two. For works in progress, I've got 3 to show you. So let's do knitting, sewing, knitting. Something you've seen, something new, something brand new. So we'll start with my Cozy Classic Light stripy sweater. And, okay, let's start here. This is really all I've worked on in the last 2 weeks. I finished my socks for my mom, and I picked this up, and this is really all I've been working on. I guess it's my last 3 weeks because I took another week off. The last 3 weeks until 2 nights ago when I cast on the last project I'm going to show you. But because I haven't been feeling well, I didn't have the mind space to work on multiple projects. Like, this has really been my monogamous knitting time. I just don't have great mind space right now. So I've really been working on one project at a time. I can't work on multiple things. And my goal for 2 weeks, so for the last episode, I said I wanted to finish the sleeve, first sleeve. And that is all that I've gotten done. I finished the first sleeve. So it is great. I am absolutely thrilled to be getting close to the end. I just have one sleeve yet left. It is still on the try-on tubing. I have not yet put on the needles, but the first sleeve is done. And this is just the Cozy Classic Light by Jessie Maed. I have talked about it a lot. I've been working on it most of the summer, on and off, but we're nearing the end. We're nearing the end, and I finally am going to be able to wear it. So yarn, I've got brown on all of the cuffs, so neckband, wrist, bottom hem. They're all brown. They're same yarn. This is, ooh, look at that. The sun is reflecting beautifully. This is Cascade Heritage brown. Someday I will look up what the color name is called. It's brown. It is, ooh, beautiful. Okay, the sun was not working with me last time, but you know what? Right here. Oh, beautiful. Okay, so brown from Cascade. Everything else is hand dyed. This one here is tweed, and it's from PacificKnitCo. It's called the Black Forest. These two are both from Coast to Coast Yarn Co. We have got Polypore and Foraging Gold. Guys, this is gorgeous. This is gorgeous. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. And it's almost done. And I'm very excited to be able to wear it soon. Soon. So that's, I mean, there's not much really to say about it right now. That's all I worked on. Mostly I'm just haven't been feeling well enough to like think about a pattern, like putting multiple different kinds of stitches together. And even this, like switching yarns, that was almost too much for me. I just wanted to knit straight through on the few times when I was feeling well enough to knit. But when I wasn't feeling well enough to knit, I was at my sewing machine. And I have some quilt blocks. This is new for me. This is the first time that I have made a quilt, or will be making a quilt. And it didn't take that much focus. I found a video on TikTok on using jelly rolls. And today is actually National Jelly Roll Day, so that's really exciting. And if you're not a sewer or a quilting person, a jelly roll is just a 2.5 inch strip that's a yard long. And they come in these packs of like a bunch of different strips. So I found a really cheap jelly roll strip on Amazon that was all green and blue and white, which is my favorite color. Like I said, I love green. I love green. I love green. This is my love note. I love green. This is my Miserina. I love green. I think that's the only green projects I have sitting around me. I haven't something else that I made sitting next to me that's green. This is a skirt that I made. So, okay, I love green. So I decided to make a green quilt. So I just went on Amazon and got a really cheap set of strips just to see if like I would like it, and tried it out, and I've got all of these quilt blocks now that are just diagonal stripes. They're really cute. Let's see, what can I show you? I've got a couple different, it's all puckered, I know, I don't really care. So, let's see. This one's pretty. And it didn't take like any thought at all. It was just something that I could sit down and just do something with. But now I have to like actually sit down and arrange them into a quilt top. And I don't want to. So it's just been sitting here. Because I know that this is going to take me multiple days to arrange it into a quilt top. And I don't want to have to like think about it. Like, I love these lemons. See it better here. This one. I like those lemons a lot. So I've got a bunch. I've got a whole stack. And I'll link the TikTok video that I watched for this down below. Guys, it was really easy. It was basically just sew 2 together and then sew 4 together and then cut the, like, so they're like folded over like this, and then this is sewn together down here, and then this is sewn together up top. But you've got 4 of them all sewn together, and then you cut them into triangles, and then you unpick the top of the triangle and you open it up and you have a square. So I have this whole thing now of a bunch of different blocks. I don't know how big of a quilt this is going to make. I'm kind of just hoping that it's like throw blanket size, like, you know, for the couch. But next step is making the quilt top out of all of my blocks. And then I have to like do the backing and the fluff on the inside, the batting on the inside, and then the binding on the edges. But which I really want to do. I want to make the quilt top for this, but there's now loose threads all over me from the frayed edges of this. But I haven't wanted to take up like the whole living room to lay this out, so I keep like stalling for it. As much as like I really want to do it and get it done. Oh look here, my water bottle's green too. I keep stalling. I just haven't done it. So hopefully I'm actually, you know what, because I'm working all weekend, I'm gonna take Monday and maybe Tuesday off of work so that I actually have a weekend. So maybe I'll do that on Monday or Tuesday. We'll see. But, you know, it's something new. I wanted to try something different, and it seemed really easy, and it actually was really easy. And now it's just, you know, putting it all together and arranging them. And I think, like, I want to do them, where like this. So it's like the light and the dark are together, and it's gonna go like that, like chevron-y across each row. But I do want it to be totally random. So there's not gonna be matching blocks next to each other. But I can't exactly hold up, you know, individual pieces of blocks, so that's what you're gonna get. Alright, but the last project I have to show you lives in my ghostie bag. This one's mine. I needed to make one for myself. I haven't kept any of my other bags yet. I had to keep one of these for myself. So it lives in my ghostie bag because it's inspired by my ghostie bag. So let me tell you about this. I posted on Instagram when I received this fabric. It's like, look at how cute this is. It's coming soon. All of the things. And my friend Maggie, who is the dyer of Yarnaceous Fibers, messaged me and she's like, I love this so much. These colors, this pattern, this scheme. I love this so much. I'm dyeing yarn inspired by it right now. Okay, that's so exciting. I was really excited that she got inspired from this because, you know, when I drew it, I just wanted to draw some ghosts. And I drew this all the way back in June. So it's been a while. It's been sitting here just waiting for ghostie season. But I've got, you know, Boo and some ghosts, and there's a sweater wearing ghost here, and the orange one, and this one's knitting. So she was like, I'm so inspired by it right now. So awesome. And she was like, you know, do you want to design a sock pattern based off of the sock set that was inspired by your bag? Yeah, I do. Yeah, I absolutely do. So let me show you the sock set first because I don't have much to show about the pattern. So this is on her Salta Fingering base, which is her standard sock base. It's an 85% superwash merino, 15% nylon, and the main skein is black. We're getting spicy here. And it comes with 3 mini skeins. The first one is that orange that matches the rogue orange ghostie. And then we've got white, because that is what the main bag is white. And then we've got gray, because those are the 3 colors that are on the bag. And she nailed it. This orange is actually, like, she did so good matching them. Like, this is going to be more saturated just because of the nature of printing on fabric and dyeing yarn. But she nailed it. She did so good. And this orange is different than this orange. It's just, it is what it is. So I have got the start. I've got the pattern all written down. Well, I wrote out the whole pattern while I was waiting for her to send me the yarn. And I cast these on Friday night when I was feeling okay. And we are this far into it right now. So I've got the cuff, which is gray right now. The light is not my friend, right? Okay, so I've got the cuff, which is that beautiful gray. The main color is, of course, going to be that black because she sent me the most of it. And then I've just barely started on some color work in the orange. So this is going to be, it is inspired by the bag. So there is going to be some ghosts on here. And so it's going to be some color work and some texture, and then some more color work, and then some more texture, and then some more color work. But there's going to be a ghost on here, and this is going to have a really, really short turnaround. So I think the sock set from Yarnaceous and the pattern will be coming out October 1st. So I will be needing some testers for this that can knit one sock or the leg of a sock in a very short amount of time. And I think that actually these will be out before I record my next podcast. Or right after I record my next podcast. But yeah, this is what we've got so far. I'm really excited for it. If you want to see updates for this or sign up for the very short tester call, I'm planning on having my sample done like Monday or Tuesday, and there's going to be a tester call immediately after that. That will be like a week and a half to do. I think it's just going to be the leg of a sock, because I know I've had my sock pattern tested by so many people before. I know the leg or the foot and the heel works. It's just making sure that the leg that the pattern will be on works for everyone. So follow me on Instagram, where all of that information will be, at Goose Ghost Knits. If you want the socks. And then I don't have a name for it right now. I'm taking suggestions for names, but I really love naming my patterns after places. So I've got, you know, the Alki shawl was the last pattern I put out. Before that, actually the pattern that I came out before that was not named after a place, but somebody suggested such a good pun that I couldn't pass it up. The succulent socks were right before that. Here, yeah, there's another green. Another one from Maggie too, from Yarnaceous. We've collaborated on 2 releases in the past, and now this will be our 3rd, and there's another one coming this year. So obviously I really enjoy working with Maggie. I really enjoy working with her yarn. I think she's a fantastic person. So, but I enjoy naming my patterns after places. I've got the Alki shawl, which is inspired by Alki Beach in Seattle. I have got, I'm working right now on releasing the Cleellum cardigan. Working on it. That was something that I designed a full year ago now. It will be my first garment release. And I have the whole Seattle sock series. Anyways, if you have suggestions for a spooky place that I could name these socks after, leave it down below. I'd love some ideas. I was kind of looking at a bunch of different ghost towns in middle of America, and the one that I kind of landed on that I enjoyed the most was Bannock, Montana. The problem that I have with ghost towns is that a lot of them are like gold rush towns, and this doesn't feel gold rushy to me. This is spooky cute, but then like I don't want to name it after an asylum, which is another like very common haunted place, because I don't want to, like, as much as I enjoy the history and reading about the hauntings in asylums, I don't want to like disrespect the people that went through those experiences there. It just doesn't feel right to me. So I don't know. I would love some ideas for haunted places, and I would love to look them up if you leave them down below. So, but that's all I got for works in progress. Should we move on to some acquisitions? Because I've got 3. One that I went to the mailbox to pick up while I was on the phone during my little intermission earlier. So we'll start with this. PacificKnitCo is Jamie, and she's an amazing pattern designer. I've knit so many of her patterns. I test knitted one of her patterns earlier this year, a couple months ago, the Seattle cowl. I've got more of her patterns somewhere here, but I've knit a bunch of them, is she's recently started coming out with stickers. So she released a couple recently that I really wanted, and so we've got the yarn with the pine cones and pine needles. I thought was so cute. And keeping on theme with the knitting ghosties, I had to. So I got 2 of those. And now that I've finally shown you, I can put it on my water bottle, because this is going to, at some point I'm really hoping to cover this in stickers. And right now I've got 2 stickers from Sewrella. This one is the Disneyland like iconography, and it just says Sewrella yarn, and this is another one that was on that same sticker sheet. It's just a pair of mini ears. So somewhere on here is gonna go the knitting ghostie, and then the other 2, I don't know, they'll go somewhere. And then she also threw in one with her logo on it, so that was exciting. I lost one of my acquisitions. So I've got in the bag, Maggie, I see her, I see what she's doing. In the bag that came with my ghostie sock set from Yarnaceous Fibers was an extra skein of yarn. So this is a little ad gifted moment because I can't believe she sent this to me. I had full intentions of buying it. A little bit before Flock, she put up pictures of this pre-order that she was doing. I think it was in the Last of Us collection. And she put up this beautiful pink and purple and blue yarn, and I do not like pink and purple, like, at all. It is not my jam. She put it up and I just, like, excuse me, beautiful. And I literally remember commenting on it, how dare you make me like a pink? So, and she sent me a message. She was like, don't worry, I'm bringing extras of Flock. Like, perfect. Because I was on a yarn ban, like a soft yarn ban for the summer leading up to Flock. That was where all of my money was going to go. That's where I was spending money, was at Flock, and I wasn't buying any yarn up until then. So I get to Flock and I finally meet her for the first time, and I give her a hug and I'm so excited, and I'm like, where is it? She's like, I didn't bring it with me. I'm sorry. Maggie! So, I said, okay, that's fine. I'll just buy it when you put it up. Put the leftovers up online. It's fine. And she's like, no. I'm like, yes. So, I open the bag and it's there. So thank you, Maggie. It was so kind of you, but I'm so mad because I wanted to pay for it and I wanted to give you money for it, but it is, like, oh, it is so pretty, and the swatches that she had made for it, just stunning. So I'm really excited to work with this. It is called Is It a Dinosaur? And it is on her Salta Fingering base. And look at how cute her logo is. That's just a little dinosaur. So thank you. But I was going to buy it. Fine. So then the last thing that is here, I haven't opened this yet. I thought this would be fun to open together. When I was on the phone with my fiance, I was checking my emails, and my Disney Parks Yarn Club from Fangirl Fiber said that it had arrived. So like, oh, perfect. We can do a little unboxing together on camera. So I went and retrieved it from my mailbox, opened it up. Oops, not show my address. Opened it up so we can unveil it together. There's something else in here that's not yarn. So I don't know what Emily put in here. I do know what Emily put in here, but here's the yarn. Okay, so we'll show the yarn first and then we can laugh about this together. This is beautiful. This is beautiful. This is very much, like, I can see the inspiration 100%. This is called the Tiki Room. And it definitely looks like a tropical bird, which is what the Tiki Room is. Okay, now let's look at the other thing. She sent a book called How to Be More Shrek. She wrote me a message on the inside. I'm laughing so hard. So when we were at Flock, again, the yarn are beautiful. I'm just gonna have my little collection over here from my beautiful yarn dyeing friends that I'm just gonna put down in front of me. When we were at Flock, I went out to dinner with a bunch of different dyers and friends and new people I've never met before, and Emily and I have chatted. Emily is Fangirl Fibers. We have chatted online for a while, and we were sitting there and I was feeling so cute that day. I dressed up, like, I put in effort, and I was wearing my gold estuary skirt and my Miserina, which is like a very me outfit. I was very happy. I felt so cute. And we were talking about projects at dinner, and everyone was like, you look like you embody like folklore, like that's your vibe, and Emily was just sitting there and she's like, yeah, and I'm Shrek, I feel. So we keep sending each other Shrek memes. So it was so this is from my beautiful Shrek friend, Emily, and she dyes beautiful, fantastic yarn. So that was fantastic. Thank you, Emily, for the wonderful. You made the day. You absolutely just made my day. I don't know how to go on from here. But I do know it will be a good day now. It was a good day already, but that was fantastic. So, life. Shall we move on to life? Guys, I said that I've been having some health issues earlier, and I've kind of talked about it throughout the episode. This hasn't been the most fun time for me right now. And so I had, long story short, I have always had hormonal problems around my period. If this is a little bit TMI for you, whatever, I think we need to talk about it. We need to normalize all of this more. So, and the only reason that I'm starting to get answers is because wonderful people have started talking about it, and I'm able to listen to their experiences. So if you don't want to listen to it, whatever, I highly recommend it, because this is life. So, and it needs to be more normalized. So I've always had really bad problems around my period. I've always had been in extreme pain, and like I haven't bled a ridiculous amount. It's just painful, and it does disrupt my life, and it's not fun, and I don't recommend it. So a while ago I got put on birth control to manage the pain, and it works for a little bit, and then I get put on a new one. Alright, it works for a little bit and then it doesn't, and then I get put on a new one, and it works for a little bit and then it doesn't, and I get put on a new one. And this has happened in a repeating cycle for years. And over the last couple months, I've kind of been like, why does it always stop working? Why does my pain come back? Why are there more issues? Why am I having extended periods? And then in the middle of July to be the beginning of August, I had a 21-day period while on birth control. That's not normal. That is not supposed to happen. And I messaged my doctor. I was like, hey, there's a problem here. Can we start looking into this? I'm not happy with, and I've also, the side effects from birth control have been starting to really bother me. I've been gaining a lot of weight, and since I got put on this new method in May, I gained a lot of weight in a very short amount of time. And, my acne, I have hormonal acne really bad, and my anxiety is causing problems, and I'm starting to recognize that in myself. So I messaged my doctor and was like, hey, can we start looking into this? This is a problem, and I shouldn't be having a 21-day period. And she just responds to me and is like, well, some women just have a thin uterine wall. While this is probably true, that wasn't an answer. So I'm going to see a new doctor next month, and in the meantime, I kept taking my pills, and once that 21-day period ended, I had a very short amount of time off, and then another period started. And I said, no, I'm not doing this anymore, so I stopped taking my birth control. And I'm now dealing with the hormonal withdrawals from that, because I've been on birth control for almost 6 years, and so my body, that's what my body is now used to, and so it's what the heck is going on, and all the hormonal withdrawals from that. So I have had this is the first day, today is the first day that I have felt normal, and I haven't had a headache at all yet, but I have had a 1.5 week long migraine while my body is coming down off of it. So that's been fun. I haven't wanted to do anything. I haven't wanted to, get out of bed, and I haven't wanted to knit, and I haven't wanted to, I have not felt good, and the migraines have caused nausea, and my eyes feel all strained, all the fun things that come with migraines, and it's just, I feel miserable. So today's the first day where I feel normal. I haven't had a headache all day. I haven't felt nauseous all day. Which is great. But good God, was that awful. But so I don't have answers right now, but I've had several different people give me directions to look into, and ask questions about, and I'm really looking forward to meeting with this new doctor, and that's not going to happen until October, and I made this appointment in the beginning of August. But they wanted, when I called and talked to the new office, they were like, let's get you in with a specialist, and I was like, that sounds like a good idea. So I have to wait until the specialist is available. So I don't know. If you have experiences, I would love to listen to them too. And if you have questions, I would be happy to share with you about my experiences, but I don't know what's going on right now. All I know is that I'm miserable. And my body has not been cooperating with me for years and I know something is wrong, and I'm tired of just using the birth control to cover up what's going on. I want to figure out what's actually going on and treat it. And, you know, not be in pain. So that's been fun. It's been really fun. Other than that, we went on that family camping trip. It was fantastic. And we had a lot of fun. We spent 3 days just sitting on the beach, which was beautiful. The weather was fantastic. It was fully cooperative. It was a nice, beautiful 75, 80 degrees for half of the weekend, and then it was a cool like 60 where we could still like snuggle up and feel like Pacific Northwesty for the other 2. And we were right on Puget Sound, right next to, if you know the area, we were right next to the Kingston Ferry dock, which is great. Easy access, and it was really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. Let's see, what else has been going? Not much, just because I've been so unwell. I had full plans to cast on a new garment design, but I decided to do this first, and I haven't had the mind space, and now I'm focusing on bag making for the release tonight, and I'll get to it at some point. I actually brought a second project with me on the camping trip, but I didn't start it, which I still really want to start it. So that may happen sometime coming up soon when I feel less like monogamous knitting and more like dabbling into something. So yeah, that's all I've got for today. Oh, goals. My goals that I set for myself last week were to cast on a new garment design. I just talked about why I didn't do that. My other goal was to get through one sleeve of my stripy sweater. I did that. Nailed it. I did 50% of my goals. Goals for the next 2 weeks. I want to finish my stripy sweater. I have one sleeve left. It is not that much knitting. It does go very quickly. And number 2, I need to find a wedding DJ. We are, what's my countdown at? We're 125 days away from the wedding, and you know what I haven't done yet? We haven't found a DJ yet. We keep pushing it off, and we keep pushing it off, and finally yesterday we were like, we cannot keep pushing this off. We need to find a DJ. Colin started emailing potential DJs yesterday while I was working on ordering our invitations. So hopefully, I think we've set ourselves a deadline of when we have to have one, and I think it's 2 weeks, so we've got like so many other things going on, like wedding related right now too. Planning our bachelor and bachelorette parties, and working on our invitations, and we're asking some of my little cousins to be junior bridesmaids and ushers and flower girls, so we're working on finding time to go do that with them. And I have to figure out alterations for my dress, and Colin's buying his suit right now. There's a lot going on. We got a lot of wedding things to start figuring out, and it's been busy. It's been so busy. So that's coming up next. And yeah. So I'll see you in 2 weeks here on YouTube. Follow me down on follow me on Instagram at Goose Ghost Knits for updates on the ghostie socks, and go check out my Etsy shop, Ashley Grace Art, also linked down below, for the bag update, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys all in a couple weeks. I think that's all I have to say. Bye, friends!